welcome to my cozy space. Join me as I get ready and share what it's really like living at home in your 30s. I've been in this home since 2014, so it's over a decade now. And just a little bit of a background, I have four siblings, and my parents are currently living in the Philippines. My sisters and older brother are now married, leaving just me and my youngest brother, who's now my roommate. I am all about family, so living at home has its perks, especially with my brother. It's been interesting to see how things have changed over the years. I actually used to share a room with my sister Melody all like my life until she got married and moved out in 2021. And, I never really had my own space until then. So, really, like 4 years ago, I finally had my own room, my own space. The idea of being independent is actually, it sounds appealing, right? And I've always thought it would be such an amazing experience to feel quote unquote responsible. Like, sure, we're adults with jobs now, but like many others, I'd much rather spend my money on travel than on like bills. Adulthood is ghetto, okay? It's become pretty normal though for people like in their 30s to live at home. That I do know a couple of people that still live at home. It's especially because of how pricey everything is nowadays. Sharing expenses and having a roommate, for instance, like with my brother, has been such an amazing experience. I'm very, very fortunate to have such a great relationship with him, allowing both of us to, enjoy our own space, but also respecting each other's privacy. And, it's almost like living with your best friend. So, again, I have a really, really great relationship with my brother. And since my parents moved out, I've had the chance to decorate the living room however I liked. I kept it neutral though, and I made sure to display like family photos and our achievements, knowing how much my dad really appreciates them. I wanted to keep the Filipino themed, so it's very boho, but also like a lot of bamboo, and the texture is very like just Filipino, okay? And I even got to paint the living room and the kitchen and the bathroom. And, my brother was extremely supportive about it. He he might not really care much about the aesthetic, but I love having the freedom to kind of make it my own in the living room, kitchen, and bathroom. It's been such a fun project. I feel like there's always something to do at this house. And if you guys have been at this house, it's always just always cluttered, and I never really paid much attention to it until my parents went home to the Philippines. So now that it's just me and my brother, I was like, wow, we have a lot of time. And I have so much energy to kind of like just change the space. One downside, though, of living at home for me is the feeling of financial dependency. Real talk, even though, yeah, I pitch in for household expenses and all that, it still feels like I haven't fully achieved my financial independence. Like, saving is actually really, really tough. And, like, balancing, like, the gratitude for the chance to, like, actually save with the urge for independence, like it can be tricky. But on the flip side, if you do have a solid relationship again with your family, staying at home can be pretty great. I mean, aside from maybe the freedom to roam around in your birthday suit, if you know what I mean, something I totally enjoy when my brother or nobody is home. Our schedules are pretty different too. So my brother works regular hours on the weekdays, and I work overnights. And so we get our own space and can still hang out with friends. The main reason I'm actually considering staying home longer is that overall my contributions definitely help pay the mortgage, which feels way better than renting and throwing money away. I tell myself at least I'm investing in our family home. When my dad purchased a home in 2014, that was the goal for him, and it was an amazing achievement because it's like reaching the American dream. And actually owning a home, it's a beautiful feeling, and I feel like contributing to that is not a waste of money. So like I mentioned, staying home has its perks, right? You save money, which means you can either shop or treat yourself to a getaway. It gives you the freedom to try new things without feeling tied down. Honestly, I loved my 20s. I did. Like, oh my God. I wish I could go back. I got to travel and experience so much because I had that flexibility. Like, living at home really feels like having a safety net. It allowed me to take risks while still being kind of smart about saving for the future and for the rainy days. Um, but sometimes I catch myself feeling pressured about what I should have accomplished by 30. Now that I just turned 30, like, I just, I don't know, there's all this societal pressure, but really, who sets those rules? I always tell myself, it's your life, Cheryl. Do what feels right for you. Whether that means staying home or moving out, whatever makes you feel comfortable, try not to let society dictate your choices. It's hard. Now that in my 30s, everyone around me is, getting married, getting engaged, buying a house, and doing all these grown up stuff. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I'm still home. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I've came into terms and into peace with that decision. And honestly, I don't see myself moving out anytime soon unless I get engaged or married because out there is just way too expensive. All right, I'm staying until the wheels fall off. Okay, I'm definitely not in a hurry to leave home. Again, it's super cozy here, convenient. Um, I really cherish the time also that I get to spend with my brother before he leaves me and gets married. Everybody is just really growing up, and I'm looking around the house, and everyone really has their own lives. So as I've gotten older, I definitely learned that setting boundaries is key to living with family. It helps keep things healthy and balanced, though it can be tricky, especially when parents come back home. And when my parents come to visit, I really have to remind myself that I'm like living in their own home, and they see things differently with their own lifestyles and opinions. So it's all about really respecting their views, even if they clash with mine. It really depends on the situation. For example, my brother and I both pitch in around the house, and I have to say, he's been doing an awesome job with everything financially and with his share of that and like the chores. I honestly enjoy cleaning up. Like, he handles the grocery shopping every now and then, which isn't much since it's just the two of us, and we don't really cook. If I like, we both like to eat out. We try not to like spend so much out, but I notice we don't cook like that. We're pretty laid back about having guests over too because we literally have the same group of friends. But overall, like, I let him do his thing and he lets me do mine. So again, we have a similar group of friends, so we have hosted at the house numerous of times, and it's just so much fun. I love it. Pitching in for rent and utility bills really does make a difference. Now, again, we're adults. I know it's only fair to help out. Plus, keeping like the lines of communication um, just open with whoever you're living with is extremely, extremely important. Talking about like plans and feelings and any problems that come up, honestly, like being honest about what you need while also hearing them out can really go a long way. Um, regular chats and like just like clearing up any confusion will strengthen like your relationship and bond with the person that you're living with. I've really taken advantage of my time at home to pick up skills that like I'm sure will help me down the road. I've dabbled in, again, I mentioned earlier, painting in the house, thanks to a friend of mine. Learned different types of cleaning methods, improved my time management, and even like tackled like financial planning. So, oh, cooking has also been such like an amazing experience. It's a mix of hits and misses, but I'm having such a blast. Like, sometimes I find myself daydreaming about what's next. But it's important to stay grounded and enjoy the here and the now. While it's nice to be cozy at home, I realize the importance of also preparing for what's next. I'm still working on my financial goals and figuring out a practical timeline to pretty much reach them, and just making sure to keep pushing forward. Again, life is a journey for everyone, so it's necessary to just not compare your process with process and progress with others. Again, social media can make it really tempting to compare and super easy, but I constantly have to remind myself to focus on my own path. I've set up a routine that suits me very well. For instance, like I mentioned, I work overnight, so on my days off, especially when my brother is home or when he's not home, I dive into the cleaning. I usually have Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays off. Sundays are like laundry days for me, while Mondays are for like tidying up and organizing the room. Vacuuming, deep cleaning the surfaces, washing the dishes. There's always something to do like in the house, you know. And overall, I just feel like you just want the peace at home. You know what I mean? Since it's just my brother and I just feel like he appreciates coming home to like a clean and calm space, and keeping the aura peaceful with like the candles on. That's my type of vibe. Candles on and my just like a very calm, cool, collected aura in the house. So overall, if you're still living at home, so what? Okay, at 30, you're still living at home. Instead of dwelling on the negatives, like just see this as a chance to really value the love and support around you. I'm such a family girl through and through. If you know, I'm such a family oriented person. So honestly, it's all about perspective. It's how you look at it. With the right attitude, it can definitely be a fulfilling and positive time living at home. And remember, this phase isn't just a setback. It can be a actually special part of your life's journey, like actually filled with lessons and memories. Like again with my brother, I believe that this time can actually be great for personal growth, bonding, and just getting ready for the next big adventure in life. I'm not rushing into it. Again, ultimately, finding peace is key. So if you want your home to be a calm place, especially when the outside world is already stressful, listen, I lean very heavily on my family and God to keep me at ease and at peace. So, again, you're still living at home at 30, enjoy it. And if you made it this far into the video, thank you again for tuning in. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.